what matters to me most is my freedom, and the way that you create more freedom in your life is by saving money, not spending it. This is like so stupid. Okay, so hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ben, and on this channel we talk about intentionality and living a more purposeful life. If that sounds interesting to you, please feel free to like and subscribe to follow along. So I did something in 2025 that I never really thought I would do ever. I think for many years I didn't really think of myself as somebody who was good with money. I had always sort of just pursued education and job opportunities based on what sounded interesting and less about what was lucrative or was going to be the most financially responsible decision to make. And it honestly was not until probably like my early 30s that I started having the realization and waking up to the fact that if I ever wanted to have a retirement, if I ever wanted to have some kind of stability, I was gonna need to learn a lot about money. And we live in a world where money makes the world go round. Whether that's right or wrong is not the question that I'm here to discuss today, but 2025 was the first year that I was actually able to track every single expense, every dollar that I made, every dollar that I spent, and was able to look at where my money was actually going. And today I wanted to share some of the realizations that I had from tracking my expenses for 365 days. Let's go. Is this level, I guess? Hello? Okay, so let's see here. So the first thing that happened after, not even after 365 days, but I feel like even after the first quarter, like the first 90 days or 3 months of tracking all of my expenses, became a lot less scary to check my bank account. And as somebody who lived off student loans for many years and, you know, had jobs where I wasn't making a ton of money, I was worried about at the end of the month, am I going to have enough to pay rent? Am I okay here? Do I need to pick up an extra shift at the cafe this weekend? It was no longer a source of stress to open my checking account and look at the balance in there. And I think that was something that took me quite a while to learn how to do. But I think tracking my expenses just helped me stay on top of everything a little bit better. And the app that I used for this was Monarch. I'm not sponsored. You do have to pay money for this application. There are other free versions. Empower makes one that a lot of people are happy with and have recommended. But I think Monarch was nice. I was able to sort of like have reports and everything, and I could sort of see the percentage of what I was actually spending money on. And so after I was no longer afraid to sort of look at my balances on my credit card statements and checking account and savings account, I was able to learn what I was actually spending money on and whether this was something that I wanted to invest in. I think before I started tracking everything, I sort of had conceptions of like, oh, I spend a lot of money on eating out, because it seems like there's a lot of other people who were making personal finance content saying that, you know, you spend a lot of money eating out, but it was not even in my top 1, 2, 3, 4. It wasn't even in my like top 10 expenses for everything for the year. And I think that surprised me a little bit. For, you know, what I was actually spending money on, and I was able to learn that, you know, I was actually saving more money than I thought. I think this was the last year in particular I decided to get serious about saving money and putting money aside and trying to ignore the noise of people that are upgrading their houses and cars and lifestyles and going on glamorous vacations and posting about it on Instagram. And I really just decided to buckle in and say, what matters to me most is my freedom, and the way that you create more freedom in your life is by saving money, not spending it. And so I think just having that clarity of I'm not doing as bad as I thought I was encouraging, and you know, I'm continuing to do that for 2026 this year as well. I think the other thing that was nice was being able to take the time to reflect on what I actually care about. And I think as long as you're living within your means, if you want to go to the coffee shop down the street and buy a latte because it brings you joy, I think that's totally fine. If that doesn't bring you joy, then don't spend your money on it. I think, clothing, electronics, other hobbies that you might enjoy, if those things truly add value to your life, I think it's okay to spend money on it. I'm not here to say that, you should never purchase an avocado toast or go to a restaurant, because I think that's, unreasonable. I was able to look at certain things and say, like, the amount of insurance products I'm spending money on, car insurance, disability, life insurance. I think in certain fields, these things are kind of like sold to you as like, you need this, and, my financial situation is changing for the better, and I'm hopeful to get away from these soon. But I think with the amount of marketing that we are exposed to, it is so easy, instead of mindful spending, to just be influenced and to begin mindless spending. So I figured I'd keep this video a little bit shorter today. I will be continuing the declutter series. I'm still working on getting everything ready for that. But it means the world to me that you're here and you're following along, so thank you so much. Please leave a comment for something that you've tried that's helped you become a little bit more financially mindful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.